Okay, so we're back here a few days later. We went back to the drawing board and came up with a new idea, or it was mainly RL's idea, to be honest. But anyways, here are 3 of the 4 new cutouts, or the new, I guess, brackets, you'd call them, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the first one on the second side. These 2 work on one leg. This is number 1, number 2. That would be 3.
And so we need number 4. So basically there's gonna be 2 of these on each side of the fork for the clamps that we mount to the cylinders. That's what's gonna hold them to the forks. So these will be welded. We came up with this kind of, what would you call that, curve?
Yeah, that's the transition of the fork, so it fits right in there.
Yeah, so let's show them. So one up there, and you can see we've already tapped it for the screw. And then, is that the top or the bottom one?
That's the top.
And then there'll be one below it. And then same thing for the other side. And so that little carved out part on the back allows it to kind of sink into the fork so it doesn't stick out as much, a little more low profile.
I think we're going to take a little more off this edge just so it looks a little cleaner.
So we're out here. This is RL's metal workshop.
My home away from home.
He's got a wood step in the back of his truck.
I've been out here for 3 days doing this shit with Dylan. It's all for his front brakes.
Well, this is our prototype. This is version 2, man. This is for both of us.
Yeah, well, my bike's waiting too.
RL's rocking the super deep V-neck today, letting that cleavage and chest hair hang out.
It's just an old t-shirt. It's a good t-shirt.
All right, so I guess we're gonna show you guys us making the last one, the last clamp. And then once we have them all done, we're gonna show you how we're gonna set them, and then we're gonna head to the welder and have him finally weld it. So we wanna show you guys that process as well.
I'll tell you, when you're going through this though, you really start to understand what a CNC machine is all about.
Yeah.
Big billet piece in there and a bunch of bits just going. We're gonna run it like this, or are we gonna cut it and make it look cool?
What do you mean? Make it look cool?
We have a lot of metal over here to support this thing. I don't think we need that much.
Let's make it look cool. All right, so we're back in the room and we've got all 4 of the brackets pretty much finished. What we got to do is tap the threads into these 2. As you can see, we already threaded the 2 on the left here. And we shaved off a little off of this one, so it's a little more low profile. And so now RL and I are going to tap these second 2, and then all we really have left to do is get it welded onto the bike from the welders. So you're gonna punch it.
Yep, let me give it a light one and move it.
So this is almost like the pre-start, just to give you a place to start with the tap.
Yeah, and you can see that's off, so I'll kick it to the... That's looking better. Well, I'll drill it, get it straight. That should be the right drill, right?
Mm-hmm. Let's hope so.
No, pretty straight.
So now we're threading it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're tapping it.
This is very complicated. And as you guys will see, so RL goes in a little bit, and then once the tap starts kind of biting and it gets a little tight, he goes about 180 degrees, and then he backs out and lets the metal chunks kind of clear out.
Clear into the flute.
Clear into the flutes, and then he goes back in for a little more.
Now, sometimes it's good, probably most of the time, it's good to use oil, cutting oil.
Oh, okay.
It's made for this. And this just seems to bite better without oil, because I did try the first one, didn't want to cut.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we got all 4 brackets finished. They're sitting right there on top of the, what is that thing called again? Vise, yep. And now, next thing, well, we're gonna line them up on the bike, which is pretty straightforward. We just gotta attach the clamps to the cylinders of the brakes and then line everything up and mark it for the welder. And then once we have that, we're gonna take these in and get them welded onto the bike.
And then Dylan has front brakes.
Yup, front Magura HS33s. All right, cool. Well, so now I guess we got all our preparation done. We're gonna see you guys once we get to the welders.
Bye.
All right, so we're back in here with the bike. Just picked it up from the welders last night, and it looks like his welds came out pretty good, or actually really good. RL said seems like he's actually improved a lot since the last time we had him weld. Not that the last time was bad, but it just seems like they're getting cleaner each time we work with him, which is really cool.
Nice welds.
His name's Eric Johnson over at Pacific Coast Metals.
Do you always?
Oh yeah, so okay, it's Pacific Street Life on Instagram, hashtag Pacific Metalcraft. But anyways, his name's Eric Johnson, and it's Pacific Metalcraft is the name of the business, so definitely check him out. He actually does a lot of really cool artwork with bronze as well. Alright, so at this point we got the front wheel back on, and we're just getting the clamps together and their bolts. Looks like we're going to start with the Echo gold colored clamps, see how those work, and then go from there. So at this point we're gonna take the forks off, strip off the brackets and everything, repaint the forks, and then
Actually, we got to drill this hole,
uh-huh.
and we got to figure out what's wrong with your headset.
Okay.
Once that's done, and everything's working, then we go to paint.
And then once we painted it, put it all back together and cut/bleed the brakes.
Yeah, cut the hose, shorten it up,
Cool.
run it down through the forks.
Set the pots mod, and we go in. Alright, cool. So then, yeah, I guess.
You're on the road, man. Front and rear Maguras.
Yeah, right?
Actually, this is probably the best setup because you got this strength in the back where it doesn't flex.
Yeah.
Dylan's rear Magura brakes work really good because these big tubes don't flex out.
Yeah,